crafty friends, it's Jess from jesscrafts.com, and today I'm here for Mint Monday with Mint Owl Studio, and I'm going to create a relatively simple birthday card with a fun watercolor background and featuring the new Scripty Sentiments stamp set from Mint Owl Studio. It is part of the February release, which is already available in the shop. You can check out the 3 stamp sets, and I will be bringing cards for the next 3 Mondays featuring the different stamp sets released in February. For this card, I wanted to create a simple but fun bright background, so I'm using the Prima water-soluble oil pastels. There are a lot of ways to get some bright watercolor backgrounds, but these are really easy to apply, and I find that they give really intense color and blend really well. Some other color mediums I feel like wouldn't blend as well or wouldn't be as intense, and they have that perfect combination. So once I have just scribbled on some color, and in some areas I overlap the 2 colors because these do blend really well, I am just spritzing on some water and blending it all with my finger. There's no need for any fancy brushes or anything like that. Just use your finger as the tool. However, it is a good idea to keep a napkin off to the side because you might want to clean off your finger in between colors, or if you have too much of a color, just wipe it off there. And if you find that this is not intense enough and you want to add more color, you can layer it on, so you can wait for it to dry and add a little bit more color and get a different blend. But once you have your background the way that you like it, you can move on to adding some of these sentiments on top. And I wanted to show what it would be like if you just use the sentiment stamp set, that you don't need to have a lot to make a nice fun card. And I'm going to be doing some heat embossing, so I wanted to make sure that my surface was ready and it was nice and dry. So what I did was just sprinkle some embossing powder on it before I added any ink, just to make sure that it came off. Then I used a powder tool and applied my white embossing powder. So I used the Happy Birthday sentiment and applied it with white embossing powder. I wanted to make one of the sentiments the focal point, so I'm embossing one in white and then I'm going to stamp the others in black. You could do the opposite, where you stamp one in black and then do the rest in white. However, because in order to get a really crisp white, you're going to need to do the heat embossing, it might be a little bit more time consuming the other way. But whichever look you like is definitely your choice there. And so I have the white heat embossed sentiment, and now I want to add the other sentiments. When I am using a simpler set like these sentiments, I always like to do a little bit of a repeating pattern to add interest. This stamp set is one of those ones you're going to grab a million times because it has a really fun font and a lot of great useful sentiments like happy birthday, congratulations, thank you, and then some simple things like sending hugs, miss you, good luck. And it covers a whole range of sentiments. There's even a sympathy sentiment in there, as I know that can be one a little bit harder to find. Once I have all my sentiments stamped, I wanted to add just a few more details. And I'm going to add that with a bit of stamping and then of course some of the lovely sequins from Mint Owl Studio. For the stamping, I wanted to make sure that my colors coordinated perfectly, but I also wanted to share another fun way to use these Prima water-soluble oil pastels, which is to stamp with them. So if you want to stamp with the oil pastels, you simply need to color your stamp. This works best with relatively solid images. So you wouldn't want something that was super fine detail, like an outline stamp isn't going to work as well. But inside of this stamp set are some fun features like these arrows. They look kind of like chevrons as well. A little martini glass, a hexagon, and some other triangles. And so these all work well with this technique. So you just color on. Again, it's mostly just like a scribbling on of the color. So, as I mentioned before, you don't need any sort of sophisticated watercoloring knowledge to be successful with these Prima oil pastels. You scribble it on, and then you take a brush with just a little bit of water and brush it over to activate the oil pastels. It's a little bit of a balance between what is too much and what is not enough, so you might want to stamp off on a different piece of paper a few times till you get a feel for how much water you should add. Once I had those arrows stamped in and sort of continuing to bring attention to the sentiments, which are the star of the show, I'm going to come in with some of the Mint Owl Studio sequins. I'm going back to January's release for the Hearts and Kisses mix. I'm quite sure this was very popular. I know that Mint Owl Studio is carried by Tupelo Designs LLC, and this was very quickly sold out over there. But I'm picking out some of those pink sequins, and then there are some gorgeous new mixes in the Mint Owl Studio store, including Peach Passion and the Mint Owl mix. But today I'm using the Royalty mix for those purple colors. And I like that you get a whole variety of purple in one pack. I don't usually want a whole bunch of one particular color, so to buy a pack of sequins and get, I think it's about 3 to 4 different colors, to me is a better value because I only am buying one pack and getting a whole variety of colors. Once I have those sequins glued on, that is it for my card today. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you are interested in more tutorials featuring Mint Owl Studio stamps, be sure to subscribe to this channel. And leave me a comment letting me know which of the new releases you are most excited about for February. Thanks for watching. Bye.